who?
Have you ever seen anybody go up in front of a big crowd of people about to give a speech with a handful of note cards? And maybe this works for you, but for those with speech anxiety, it might be rather stressful because maybe they're really nervous, they're shaking, sweaty palms and everything, and they're just trying to read their sloppy handwriting on these note cards. And then, I'm sure you've seen this in movies or something, but then they drop them all over the floor. And so they're struggling, they're trying to pick them up, all their notes are out of order, and eventually, it's just, thank you, and walks off the stage. Or maybe perhaps it would be a circumstance like my dad trying to run for a student council who had this whole thing written out, he had a great analogy to start out with, and he picked up this paper and just could not read it. It was just shaking. It was absolutely terrified. Today, we're going to talk about speech anxiety and what it is. It's defined as not defined as, but it is called glossophobia. And we're going to talk about what it is and what are some potential ways that you could, deal with the issue. So, according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, it is quite literally just the fear of public speaking. The root word glosso means tongue, words, or language, and phobia, obviously, the extreme fear of. This glossophobia is often associated with the fear of judgment, as people, when they go up to speak, maybe they're worried that people are going to, judge them for, what they say, maybe their nervousness, the fact that they're unprepared. And according to Ali Sayed, this affects 75% of the world's population. So if you struggle with speech anxiety, don't worry, you're not alone. Potential causes of this might be due to genetics, maybe family history. People might have, struggle with nervousness, especially when talking in front of big crowds of people, or potentially past negative experiences, which if you've ever gone up to present something and you were just unprepared, then maybe something bad happened. Maybe you were laughed at. Maybe you were just nervous, and it could be due to past negative experiences. A few symptoms of glossophobia may include increased blood pressure, elevated heart rate, sweating, especially in the hands. I don't know why, that's just how that works. Stiffening of the muscles, maybe nausea, dry mouth, panic attack. You had mentioned at one point that people have actually just run out of the room because they might have been nervous about giving a speech. And these are all different things that might happen whenever you are giving speeches. So those are what categorizes or what defines glossophobia. Now, how do we deal with it? There's a few lifestyle changes as well as medical changes that you can do to potentially, cope with the glossophobia. One of those lifestyle changes may include physical exercise. Of course, it's a very good coping mechanism, and it's not only beneficial for helping you with that, but it promotes health and wellness. So, of course, you'll be able to be in better shape, better health. Of course, eating better, that goes hand in hand with physical exercise. Meditation or prayer, these are things that helps increase focus, reduces stress, and according to Dr. Matt Bradshaw, for many people, God is a source of comfort and strength, and through prayer, to enter into an intimate relationship with Him and begin to feel a secure attachment. When this is the case, prayer offers emotional comfort, resulting in fewer symptoms of anxiety disorders. For me personally, I am a man of God, I am a man of prayer, and I believe that God is my comfort and my strength, and because of this, I don't have to worry about what tomorrow brings because He's going to take care of me. So both physical exercise and prayer are both, very beneficial things that could help with, your physical, body, or maybe your, spirit, your mind. Another way, medical help is a good way of dealing with glossophobia, and there are different types of therapies that can help with that. One of those being exposure therapy, which basically exposes you to, specifically the fear of speeches, but also it can also be used for other fears as well. Exposure therapy basically exposes you to the fear, helping you to find ease with it or maybe contempt with whatever you might be afraid of, and that might include, giving speeches. Cognitive behavioral therapy, also known as CBT, is basically kind of talk therapy with like a therapist. It reveals truths about fear, kind of realizes maybe the fear is unnatural, or possibly it's irrational. So it reveals a lot of truths about the fear or inaccuracies that you once believed about the fear. So it's basically a very easy way to just kind of shine a new light on what you might be afraid of, making it seem rather like, this fear is unnecessary. I don't have to worry about this kind of thing. Medication, there's all kinds of different medications that might help. I would say probably use this as a last resort, just because eventually you might be maxed out on a certain medication. But certain medications that might be useful for dealing with speech anxiety or just regular anxiety in general and I'm totally going to botch the pronunciation of these things, but benzodiazepine? Okay, I don't know about that one. Antidepressants, that of course reduces anxiety, especially when coming up to the front of the stage. I don't know if I'm going to even try to pronounce propranolol, something like that. But basically, if you are considering medication, it's best to talk with a medical professional. But though there may be different solutions for different people that might work better, I hope that you will take some time to put some of these strategies into practice, maybe helping you out with whatever you might be afraid of, especially the fear of public speaking. Thank you very much. I'm going to clean up these note cards now. Anybody have any questions?
Questions from the class first? Okay. So how about in terms of prior experiences with public speaking before college? Were there any to speak of in high school or what?
For me personally? Or?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've spoken at a couple of FCA events here and there, but I've never had a speech class or anything, so
a handful.
So a little bit, but not a ton. So
okay.
But yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyone else? All right. Well, we sure appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you very much. I'll trade you.
All right. And let's see here. Okay, Dustin, you're up next. Sneaky applause. Who is, so you got time cards? Okay, awesome. Let's see, you got someone recording you?